Yo, day 7. Come on, you almost at the end of today, you can say you are 1 week in. All right, not yet, but almost. But if you have not done today's reading, please pause the audio and the video and come back. I will be right here. Come on, you guys already know what to do. Like, don't, that, again, this is here to complement, not supplement your time with the Lord. But let's get right into it. I know you guys are probably like, dang, another immoral text. Like, yes, listen, here's the deal. The Bible, guys, oftentimes will repeat itself. But again, going back to the thing I said on day 1, I already know. No, you don't. We do not. We do not know it all. And even if so, listen, it's okay to hear it a second, third, or fourth time because once again, what are we doing to apply the things that we're hearing? And even if you do know it, there is such a thing as learning something again and hearing it in a different way that could solidify more in your heart. So keep an open heart, keep an open mind. Same thing. I'm gonna talk to everybody, guys and gals, single people, dating people, married people, everybody. All right, this is for everybody. So let's dive in. Chapter 7, starting in verse 1. Follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commands. Obey my commands and live. Guard my instructions as you guard your own eyes. Remember, we talked about what guard means. Remember, being on high alert, right? Guard my instructions as you guard your own eyes. Verse 3, tie them on your fingers as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Love wisdom like a sister. Make insight a beloved member of your family. Let them protect you from an affair with an immoral woman, from listening to the flattery of a promiscuous woman. Now, there are a lot of action words in just these first 5 verses, all right? So here are the words that we got. Just kind of recap, all right? We have follow these words, treasure wisdom, obey it, guard it 2 times, tie them like to keep, write it down, and love it like a sister. That's a lot of action words. So why does the writer lead with this? Because he's given us a setup on what to be on guard for. And he goes into an illustration of a man being aware of an immoral woman. And instead of just unpacking this as an immoral woman, here's what I want us to do. I want us to look at the takeaways as a person who has an immoral heart. All right? Because we went over a lot of this already 2 days ago. So I'm not trying to twist or anything, the text or anything like that. But I just want us to look at this as let's be aware of individuals who have an immoral heart. All right? And so someone with an immoral heart is they're loud, they're brash, they're obvious, they don't like staying at home, as we read, they're discontent, they're persistent, they're not idle, they seek to entice others into their own area, and they're pretty of speech. Look at Proverbs verse 21, chapter 7, verse 21. It says, so she seduced him with her pretty speech and enticed him with her flattery. So here's another way of saying it. People with an immoral heart tell you what you want to hear. Say that one more time. People with an immoral heart tell you what you want to hear. My wife Judy says it like this all the times. This is why it's important to know your own temptations. So I'm going to ask you guys this question for our time together. Does your heart flutter when certain people speak? Does your heart flutter when provided an opportunity to do something that you have no business doing? This doesn't have to be with someone of the opposite sex either, or a matter of just of your sexual integrity. It's not just that. It can also be amongst your own friends. Like, do your friends tell you things that you want to hear? Like, fellas, when you're with your boys, do they easily hype you up? Ladies, when you're with your girls, do they easily hype you up? It can be your family, it can be your parent. Like, oh no, baby, it's okay, you can go ahead, because they're telling you something that you want to hear. This is not just a sexual integrity thing; it's an integrity thing. Period. So, for example, like I found out like, hey, I found out there's a hack to get around so and so, right? Jesus says in Matthew chapter 18, verse 7, temptations are inevitable. I mentioned this a couple of days ago. But what sorrow awaits the person who does the tempting? Remember, our temptation isn't the issue. Our response to it is, which is why you need to know what your temptation is. So when it happens, it's so important to follow. Remember the words: follow, treasure, obey, love, and guard wisdom, right? So look at the rest of Proverbs in chapter 7, verse 22. It says that he followed her at once like an ox going to the slaughter. He was like a stag caught in a trap, awaiting the arrow that would pierce his heart. He was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing, listen, it would cost him his life. The Tree of Life version Bible, it's one of my favorite Bibles, but the Tree of Life version says it like this: little knowing it would cost him his soul. Are you catching this? Not only would it cost him his life, it cost him his soul. And he didn't even recognize it. When it comes to making decisions in life, y'all, we need to slow down and ask ourselves questions such as, how will this decision impact my life? How will me saying yes to this impact my soul? How will this decision impact my life 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? If I say yes to this now, how will it impact me? If I say no to it, how will it impact me X amount of years from now? That's the way we have to be thinking. Let's broaden this. How will this decision impact my spouse? How will me messing around with this person impact wives, right? How will this impact my husband? Husbands, how will this impact my wife? Single people, how will me making this decision impact my future spouse? How will this impact my kids? How will this impact my future kids? How will this impact my peers, my family? How will this impact my business? How will me saying yes to this impact my finances, the people who work with me, the people that I lead and serve? Again, remember what Dr. Miles Monroe says: stop making decisions, start studying consequences. Do you think and live from that lens? This is why we need wisdom. And the chapter actually ends with verse 26. It says it like this: for she has been the ruin of many. Her house is the road to the grave. Her bedroom is the den of death. Here's another way of saying it: being led by an immoral heart will cost you your life. Being led by an immoral heart will cost you your soul. It will lead you to ruin and to the den of death. And it's so interesting because when we read through this text and we hear this, it's easy, as we should appropriately go, okay, well, let me stay away from an immoral woman. Ladies, let me stay away from an immoral man. All that's true. I want to give another shift though too. Is it possible that we too can participate in immoral activities? And here's the wise takeaway basically actually for today. You're either the Stumbl-ee or you're the stumbler. And the reality is we have the potential to be both. We have the potential to be both. And when we use the word immoral, it's not just, again, in the context of a sexual activity. That very much so is a thing. And we talked about that a lot 2 days ago, the last time we talked about immoral woman. But it's also about, like, how are you using your words? Like, do you tell people what they want to hear just because you want to be liked? We get caught up in people pleasing. Like, I know I do, and I'll just out myself and use myself as an example. One of my gifts, Strengths Finder, one of my gifts is woo, which is winning others over. I have the ability to win others over. And one of the greatest things that I learned in Pete Scazzero's book, Emotionally Spiritual Leader, it's my all-time #1 favorite leadership book. But in his book, towards the end of it, he has a chapter talking about the different types of power. There are 6 types of power that he talks about. And one of them is what he calls projected power. And projected power is this idea that because of your stature, your status, your position, your title, all these things that make you you, people are going to project onto you to know something. So, for example, me being a chaplain in the Army and I have a certain rank, people project. They'll say something like, "Oh, you're a chaplain, so what are they doing?" They're putting me on a certain pedestal because of the cross I wear on my uniform, right? Or the rank that I have. Same thing when I serve as a pastor. It's, "Oh, well, you're a pastor, so you see what they're doing?" And this is applicable to all of us, whether you're a parent, whether you're a friend. But I have the gift of woo, of winning others over. So I said, I have to say, I remember when I was a small groups pastor years ago, and part of my job was to build and recruit more leaders. And so one of the things I would do, I remember when I was even active duty before I became a small groups pastor, the amount of times I would hear people say, "Mark, because it's you, because you asked, I'll do it." And I get what they're saying. It's very kind. But as the years went on, I started realizing, like, oh, I absolutely have the ability to misuse that. So when I became a small group pastor, what I started doing was, if I would ask someone, "Hey, would you consider being a small group leader?" They go, "Okay, Mark, well, because you asked, I'll say yes. And what I started saying was, hey, why don't you pray about it? So just pray about it and let me know what the Lord says. And here's why I did this. Because if you're saying yes to it because of me, it equally means when times get hard or if I do something to offend you, regardless if I was intentional or not, you can say no to it then also because of me. So instead, I would say, hey, pray about it. Why? Because I want them to get a yes from the Lord. And how many of us know a yes from the Lord is way stronger than a yes for a man or for a person? So now when they come back and said, man, I prayed on it and the Lord gave me the green light. Now you have a stronger conviction, right? So that's something that I did just to put as a guardrail, as a safety net. I wanted to be careful, though. On one side, it is a gift, and I genuinely believe that. I know that I have that capacity, but I never want to implement it at the sake of unintentionally manipulating or bringing someone over, because I can quote unquote woo them, right? I can tickle their ears and tell them the right things. So what about you? Like, we all have the potential to be the Stumbl-ee or the stumbler. We all have the capacity to be both. What is yours? So I hope that helps. I hope it's just a reminder of we need wisdom. This is exactly why we need wisdom. It doesn't just have to be immoral stuff in the context of sex. It can be anything. What does it look like for us to take a step back and go, all right, Lord, I want you to use me right now in this moment to lift people up, and not tell them the things that they want to hear because I want to be liked. Are we here to please the Lord, or are we here to please others? And that falls in line with, are we the stumbler or the Stumbl-ee? Again, the reality is we have the potential to be both. Hope you guys enjoyed today. Again, post a comment below. Again, keep tagging me, man. Post on your stories, Facebook, Instagram. Just tag me and tell me what it is that you're learning. What's your takeaway? What's your wise takeaway for today? I love to hear from you. I hope this is helpful. And I will catch y'all tomorrow. All right. See you next time. Peace. Thanks for joining us today. I want to challenge you with two things. Number one, invite somebody, because you don't want to do this alone. And number two, join our online community group. I left a link in the description below. What I've come to find is you do your most powerful growth in community with like-minded people. And don't forget to post in the comments below your greatest takeaway and tag me on Instagram at Mark K. Benton 2 so I can see what God is doing in your life. I'll catch you guys on the next one.